and better oil deal. This is a national.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio. This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio 99.1 FM.
Hello, thank you for tuning into Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith and welcome to your news at noon. These are the top stories we are tracking. In the climate change rebellion, as it heightens for a safer world, 10,000 emails sent to remove ExxonMobil head. $500 million set aside to repair Region 1 roads. Thieves caught in camera using car to steal goats. And 2 in custody after laborer allegedly drowns. Do stay tuned.
The perfect opportunity to choose a university. Enhance your capacity to build a nation. Guyana Online Academy of Learning. We'd love to give you a start. 20,000 scholarships we're offering, so you can do your part. We provide the platform, all you do is choose. You can use the comfort of your living room. The programs are completely online for you. Let's build a nation, yeah. Guyana Online Academy of Learning. We've got a nation's future at heart.
And now for the news in detail. Nasdaq, one of America's largest stock exchange markets, recently learned that climate activists are looking to get rid of ExxonMobil's CEO, Darren Woods, along with the oil giant's lead independent director, Kenneth Frazier, at this month's shareholder meeting. In a bid to remove both parties successfully, environmental groups Sierra Club and other activists have bombarded BlackRock Inc. and Vanguard Group, 2 of ExxonMobil's biggest shareholders, with thousands of calls and emails urging that they vote against Woods and Frazier. The 2 money management firms hold more than 30% of Exxon shares combined. The move to oust Woods and Frazier is seen as strategic, as it would boost an ongoing fight led by climate activists since last year to have 4 fresh faces sit on ExxonMobil's board of executive. In other news, government will be spending some $500 million this year to rehabilitate the Region 1 road network. This was made known in a recent release issued by DPI. Regional Chairman of Region 1, Brent Nall Ashley, said that the sum of money was set aside in the 2021 budget. He related that the road projects, which are expected to commence soon in his district, would be carried out by the Ministry of Public Works. He also listed some of the roads that the money will be spent on. According to the regional chairman, a portion of the money will be used to rehabilitate Phase 5 of the Mabaruma Compound Road with concrete. Works are also expected to commence on Phase 2 of the Maruka Access Road. That too will be done in concrete. Other rehabilitative works will be carried out on the road from Port Kaituma to Ornock and from Mabaruma to Hossororo. And now let's tell you, suspected thieves were caught on camera stealing 2 goats, which were placed into a silver grey Toyota Allion motor car bearing license plate PTT 171. We were unable to ascertain the time and location of the goat stealing episode. Someone had, however, recorded the incident and posted it online, which resulted in it going viral. As the car stopped near the herd, a man dressed in a 3/4 blue pants and a white t-shirt grabbed 2 goats by their ears and pushed them into the car and sped off. This is not the first time we received reports of an incident whereby thieves have used cars to steal goats. And on that note, let's tell you that a 20-year-old man, Akeem Davidson, is feared dead after he went missing while swimming with a workmate on Tuesday. According to a police report, at around 14 hours 15, Davidson and his workmate Sheldon Vanaco had gone to take a bath at a creek located about 300 meters away from their camp at Mabura. Police revealed Davidson reportedly dived but did not resurface. Vanaco, according to police, had assumed that Davidson was playing and had started to shout for him, urging that he stop. But even after 15 minutes of reprimanding, he said that there was no response from Davidson. Vanaco then said after he realized that Davidson might have drowned, he returned to the camp and alerted Ephraim Ben, the camp owner. They both reportedly went down to the creek in search of Davidson, but their efforts proved futile. Both Vanaco and Ben are in police custody assisting with investigations. And the time has now moved on to 12 hours 28. Coming up after the break, government moves to tighten regulations for travel agencies. Bandits ride off empty-handed as woman refuses to let go of bag, and appeal court affirms life sentence for convicted killer. Meanwhile, woman arrested after allegedly stabbing husband to death. Do stay tuned.
This is GHK Lal, inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues, immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. Acknowledging the critical role of the aviation industry in the local economy, Minister of Public Works Juan Edgell announced on Monday that steps will be taken to tighten the gaps of operations for local travel agencies as the sector continues to expand. Edgell noted the need to have firmer, internationally recognized regulations in place. He also pointed to the need for strengthening the legal framework under which local travel agencies operate for the rights of consumers to be protected. According to Edgell, the Sale of Travel Tickets Act empowers the subject minister to implement regulations as he deems fit. The minister emphasized, however, that the stipulation is among the things that must be amended. As such, he said consultations will commence shortly between representatives from the ministry, GCAA, and travel agents on the specific regulations to be implemented. And moving on, 2 motorcycle bandits were outmatched after they tried but failed to snatch a woman's bag on Tuesday. That should be Thursday, April 29th last. Based on a video that surfaced on the internet, a woman was walking along Carmichael Street in Georgetown at 9:17 when at the same time 2 bandits on a black motorcycle rode up behind her. The pillion rider grabbed the woman's purse and the motorcycle was accelerated with the woman still clinging to the bag. Nevertheless, the bandits kept on riding along Carmichael Street. The pillion rider decided to release the bag while on Middle Street. This caused the woman to fall to the ground and roll with her bag still in her grasp. The 2 bandits were seen continuing along Middle Street. And now let's tell you the Court of Appeal has affirmed the life sentence for Dupal Singh, who was convicted for the murder of a Mahaika farmer in 2016. Singh was found guilty of the September 2014 chopping death of Mahaika farmer Balkisoon. The incident, which occurred at Helen and number 2 Mahaika, reportedly stemmed from an argument between the 2 men following insults which were hurled by Singh about the dead farmer's wife. The court has, however, reduced the 25 years he was given to serve before being eligible for parole to 20 years. The 5-year deduction was made after the appeal court considered the facts and evidence presented in the trial and by lawyer Mark Conway. Singh had maintained that he was innocent of any crime, even to the end of his trial, citing issues of provocation and self-defense, issues he claimed that trial judge Barlow failed to put up to the jury for the consideration of a verdict in his case. Meanwhile, a Barometer woman was yesterday arrested after she allegedly stabbed her husband to death. Dead is Damian George, a gold miner of Barometer, Region 1. George was reportedly stabbed to his ear with a knife sometime between 5 hours and 7 hours 45 at their home. According to a police report, George was found lying motionless at his home and was taken to the Barometer Health Center, where he was pronounced dead by a medics. Investigations are ongoing. And on that note, we now move on to our COVID-19 update. The Ministry of Health yesterday reported that 2 persons who tested positive for COVID-19 have died. Their deaths now bring Guyana's COVID-19 death toll to 308. Dead is a 58-year-old woman and a 65-year-old man, both from Region 3. Meanwhile, 173 new COVID-19 cases were recorded, taking the total number of confirmed cases to 13,829. 16 patients are in the COVID-19 ICU, 100 persons are in institutional isolation, 1,733 in home isolation, and 10 persons are in institutional quarantine. To date, 11,672 recoveries have been recorded. And coming from CNN, India has had more than 17.6 million cases since the pandemic began last year. But experts fear the real number could end up to 30 times higher. Grieving families are struggling to keep themselves and their loved ones safe amid an overwhelmed healthcare system, and medical workers are stretched thin as some hospitals run out of oxygen and supplies. The global community is rallying to help India push back against the pandemic, with countries around the world offering aid. And just before we wrap up today's news at noon, we now head over to the page 7 of the Kaieteur News that is dedicated to being blunt. Alarming it was a year ago when a person passed away due to COVID-19 complications. But times have changed. Earlier this week, the Health Ministry recorded in a single day 5 COVID-19 deaths. But life went on as per norm for most. In fact, some people haven't been bothered enough to take precautions to help safeguard themselves and loved ones. It would seem that COVID-19 has come to show us just how indifferent we are as human beings. Lives are being lost daily, but yet we just smile and look the other way. And with that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. I am Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's Newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your